Hi, I'm State Representative Jenny Graham from Spokane 6th District, coming to you from the Capitol in Olympia. In the Community Safety Committee, we heard Engrossed Senate Bill 5068 concerning agencies, firefighters, prosecutors, and general or limited authority law enforcement, extending eligibility for employment to all United States citizens or persons legally authorized to work in the United States under federal law. If somebody comes here from another country under a work visa, this would apply to them. They would be able to apply for these jobs. There are some issues with some of the job situations in our country where it's a lower wage concern. So U.S. citizens, legal residents may be pushed out of some of these jobs if they're able to hire other people that have the work visas to be able to fill these jobs. But I think that truly what to me is more concerning is the fact that when we dealt with this bill last session, they'd mentioned that we have people that apply for our military service and are in our military service that are not U.S. citizens getting their citizenship, which is great. This is not an apples and oranges situation, though. We typically do not see people that are in the military in these jobs that would be in our neighborhoods performing these jobs. We're talking about somebody that is not a U.S. citizen having the power to arrest you. If it's prosecutors, to take your freedom away. And that to me is something concerning. I think that, in my opinion, that is a concern, that for some jobs you definitely would want a U.S. citizen to be in a position if your freedom was going to be taken away or you were on the other end of a firearm. Typically, these individuals cannot possess firearms. However, there is talk about them being able to get around that just while they're doing their job. Well, that will end up leading to, well, they're doing it during their job, so they should be able to do it outside of the job. And then it's going to end up morphing to, well, everybody should have the ability to be able to do this. So I think that you could probably see that in these instances, when you're talking about foreign nationals in our country being able to be armed, where that could be of concern. And part of what I brought up during committee was that this is something that has already been a concern, where somebody didn't fill out a visa honestly. So they ended up getting into our country because they were dishonest in the paperwork that they filled out, and the government didn't catch it, and this person was trying to become a law enforcement officer. If that information is not correct and it's not caught, then we have somebody doing these positions that are not U.S. citizens, which has a whole nother issue attached to it. We should want people that are U.S. citizens filling those jobs. Why do we find ourselves in this position right now? Well, largely it's because of the defund the police movement that's been going on. Washington State is dead last for police officers per capita for people that are wanting to do these jobs. And this is not a money problem. If it is a job where you are not respected, if it's a job where you are highly likely not to return home to your family at the end of the day because of the violence that is being directed towards law enforcement, there's a lot of people that would not want to do those jobs. Then you add the situation where there were, I think, at least maybe 4 cases, if I'm correct, where officers were found to have done what was expected of them through training. They were cleared on multiple occasions, and they still had the Attorney General's office going after them personally. So it affects their ability to continue in their field. It affects their reputation. It affects their families. We're facing this because we can't get people that live here in Washington State that are U.S. citizens wanting to do these jobs because of the environment that's been created that is now pushing us to hire people that are non-U.S. citizens to do these jobs because we don't have people to fill these positions. And that's law enforcement, firefighters, prosecutors. These are really good paying jobs that should be going to U.S. citizens and possibly legal residents. That's just one update. We will be executing it in the future, so hopefully I'll be able to give you an update. In the meantime, there's amendments that we're working on to try to see what we can do to make the bill better, and I will hopefully give you an update coming soon. Thank you so much.